everyone, it's Leanne with Lovely Scrappin'. I wanted to show you this completed wall hanger I made for a friend on YouTube, just to say thank you to her and her kindness. So I wanted to make something special, and I used the Graphic 45 Curtain Call paper collection. I absolutely love Graphic 45, and this paper collection is just so much fun, and I love the colors, so I really played with the blacks and the browns and golds in it. And if you're interested in watching me put this together, just continue watching the clips at the tail end of this video, and it'll show you how I put it together in super fast mode. And let's see, so the plaque itself is just a wood plaque that I actually got from the dollar store, and it was just plain wood, raw wood, and I painted it with black acrylic paint and then let it dry, covered it with Mod Podge gloss, and let that dry, and then I painted it with acrylic paint that was antique gold, and then I wiped it off with a paper towel, and it leaves this streaky stain kind of a look, which I really loved, and that was the look I was going for. I actually played, I always do a test run, I don't want to ruin a project. I just got a block of wood, painted it across the entire top with black paint, and then I tried it just with the acrylic paint and no Mod Podge. And then for this part I did Mod Podge, and then I did the acrylic paint and wiped it off, which is what I ended up going for. And then this one I used alcohol ink on the Mod Podge, which also works, but the color wasn't what I wanted for the plaque, so I went with that one. So anyway, if you got wood, play around with it before you do your actual project. So that's what I did for the wood plaque, and let's see here. I then I made a template up, and you'll see in the video, because it's slightly beveled, and so I wanted to just take a regular piece of cardstock and make a template so I knew how I wanted to cut the paper without wasting a bunch of this paper. And so that's what I did, and I ended up joining two different pieces of the paper collection together to get the piano on the side, and then this beautiful piece with all this good stuff happening in it. And then I, from this sheet of paper, I clipped off the curtain call tag. Like the other plaque I did, I layered it with UD, but I didn't crack it. Oh, before I did that, I did distress it with vintage photo, and then I layered it 3 layers of UD, popped it up on some foam pieces, and actually put it on some of this in the background. You can see it's a gold paper, and you'll see how I made that. I actually, it was left over from when I did these pearls with the alcohol ink. It was, I think, caramel and gold alcohol ink colors, and I just, as I was blotting it, I put a piece of gloss paper behind it to save some of that good alcohol ink and do some die cuts from it, which I ended up doing these die cuts. Sorry if it gets dark all of a sudden, it's trying to focus. So I made these 2 die cuts out of that leftover paper, and I also just cut this rectangle to do some matting for this tag. And then I just matted it on some black paper, which I kind of roughed up with the Tim Holtz paper distresser, I think it's called, and lined it with some bling. And this kind of, I wanted some bling lined on here because it reminds me of, you know, on Broadway or in Vegas, you see like signs with flashing lights, and that's kind of what that reminded me of by putting bling on there. So it's like curtain call, you know, there's the lights. So anyway, I thought that was kind of fun. And layered it with this trim, and then again, like I mentioned, this was white pearl trim, and I just alcohol inked it to get it to the gold I wanted, and distressed all the paper with the vintage photo distress ink. You can see if I tilt it a little bit, the shine. I layered, I accented some of the pieces of the paper with glossy accent to give it some dimension. So I did the lady and this, what would it be, like a photo film reel or whatever you want to call it, film strip. And then I also, this was a die cut, and I just glossy accented the lady. And I also distressed it with vintage photo, and also put, I don't know if you can see, but a little bit of acrylic vintage gold paint on there. And then I layered it, or lined it, with some black pearl and put some black bling in the little holes there. And then this flower is, this little black flower, sorry, I'm trying to focus here, is left over from a bunch of bouquets I did for my sister's wedding, and as well as all of these ones. And they're from Michael's, and I just took them apart. This one here, I put lots of gold stickles on it, and I alcohol inked a bead to make it the gold I want for the center. I put a little feather there, had a little bit of leftover pearl bead there, so I made a little accent to the flower there and sort of stuck it there. This is just a vintage piece of jewelry that I found at a garage sale. And these are I Am Roses, and I inked these up. I just watercolored it with Vintage Photo. You'll see that in the video. This one, I love how this turned out. This is a gardenia, and I distressed it first with Vintage Photo. Then I glimmer misted it with some homemade glimmer mist I made using the antique gold acrylic paint and water. And I glimmer misted it to get this wonderful gold shimmer. And then I multi-toned it with some black, it's the black soot distress ink. So you can see where it's a multi-tone. I just watercolored it in areas to kind of get that to sort of pop along with the gold. And then I colored the centers with the black acrylic paint. I think it was the black sequin. And then put some gold stickles in the center. So I really like how it took a lot of work and time, but it was so much fun, and I'm loving the results of that flower. These black leaves here were part of this flower bouquet from Michael's, and I just added some stickles, gold stickles for the vine, skeleton, what do you call it? The spine, the spine of the leaves, I think that's called. And I also put them there, and put some gold stickles there. I made a stick pin right there, and added some feather in the back, and lined it with some bling here and there. And this is a fragment charm. I took some of the paper collection and I put glossy accent and stuck it on the back of the fragment charm from Tim Holtz. And then I buffed it with some gold of that antique gold acrylic paint again. And just put not a jump ring. Actually, this is part of some vintage jewelry, a necklace, gold chain necklace that I just took apart to attach it to. And this is actually a stick pin that I made into a charm. So I made the stick pin from one of those pearl, sorry, it's blurry, the pearl pins, and I just alcohol inked the end and the bead here to kind of make it match, and added some beads to it. And then I just added some fibers, a little bit of a metallic kind of a color, black, and put the chain back on, and the chain was black already, so that was awesome. And so that goes really well. So anyway, guys, I really hope you like it, and I really hope my friend likes it. I'm going to ship it off as soon as possible here. And I don't think I'll post this video until she receives it, so it's a complete surprise. But I haven't made up my mind, which is why I'm not saying her name. And anyway, guys, I think I covered it all. If you have any questions, please do let me know, and I'll do my best to answer. And just watch the clips to follow. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care. Bye now.